Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Today I'm going to talk about one of these subjects that I keep putting on the back burner because it's not especially timely, but it's something I care about because it's about New York City. If you've been following my vlogs for a while, then you know that I used to live in New York City. I lived there for 40 years. I'm originally from Detroit. I lived in New York for 40 years, and only this last January I moved to Tennessee, where I am now speaking to you from. But I still care about New York. I'm still interested. In fact, I'm planning to go back and visit in a few weeks. So I read the news. I keep up on what's happening back in New York. This is about the MTA. Oh, and you're going to get some personal reporting from me on this subject because I used to live in New York, as I just said. So this is about the MTA. It's the Metropolitan Transit Authority. That's what MTA stands for. And, well, I'll just put the article up. Blame the MTA's no-shows for its mind-numbing overtime costs. This is one of the problems of New York, one of the reasons I had to leave because of the high taxes caused by, well, the subject of this particular article and what I'm going to talk about, that New York is very expensive, the taxes are high. It's because of the stranglehold that the public unions have on the city. So the story is, blame the MTA's no-shows for its mind-numbing overtime costs. I'll just read you some paragraphs from the article and then I'll give you my comments. Data obtained by the Post, that would be the New York Post, the paper in which this article appeared. Data obtained by the Post show the average New York City transit employee missed a whopping 54 days of work last year, a full 7 weeks and 5 days, transit reporter David Meyer reported yesterday. That includes 18 vacation days, 8 holidays, 9 sick days, and 4 training days, all of which are paid, plus 6 comp days, 5 unpaid sick days, and 4 days for jury duty, suspensions, and military leave. That's one sweet deal. Yeah, you're telling me. I mean, try to get that kind of a deal in the private sector. I suppose those of you in salaried jobs are not getting that many days off, those kind of perks. Just a wild guess. Anyways, going on with the quotes. As for the workers throughout the rest of the agency, Foy, this would be Pat Foy, he's the chairman of the MTA, Foy has estimated they may clock closer to 12 weeks off the job every year. Is he kidding? No, he is not kidding. Trust me on this. Here's the problem. All that time off means fewer employees available to work, and that forces the MTA to pay obscene overtime costs to make up for the absences. Now, when he says obscene, he means six-figure salaries, six-figure overtime amounts. You would be amazed. Maybe that would be another video someday, how much these workers make in overtime. All right, and then when these workers come back, by the way, and somebody else takes some time off, these workers who have taken off so much time all by themselves, they now get overtime too. So they get all these days off and they get all this overtime pay. And I had to laugh here almost when he says fewer employees available to work. Well, when they are working, they're not working that hard, and this gets to the personal reporting that I want to throw in, and one of the reasons that I left New York, besides the one I just mentioned to you. Now, take a look at this photo. This photo is a photo that I took from my cell phone, myself, when I was still living in New York. It was in the winter, I think it was just this past winter, I'm pretty sure it was just this past winter. There was a heavy snowstorm and some of the subway entrances, as you can see, I was taking the bus so I was okay, but some of the subway entrances, as you can see here, they were roped off or they were taped off. Now, as you can see in this photo, you can see 3 subway workers jammed into that little entrance to the subway station, and there's a fourth, a manager, who was some ways down the steps. Now, what is so special about this photo? Well, there's nothing special about it if you live in New York, but if you don't live in New York, you're going to find this special, because what were these workers doing? As I said, there was a snowstorm. Their job was to sweep the snow off of the steps. Now, what you can't see is that snow, number one, only goes down about 3 or 4 steps, and then you have just bare steps because the snow did not go that far down the entrance, which is to the subway, which is underground. The question you may be asking, the one that I would ask, is why do you need 3 people and a supervisor to sweep snow off of 3 or 4 steps leading into the subway station? The reason is the public employee unions of New York City. They have a contract with the city that requires the city to, well, you see it all the time. You see it in the photo of the article that I put up. Look at the photo again. You see 2 workers just, I don't know what they're doing, cleaning a wall, scraping tile off a wall, doing something, and then you have another worker just standing there looking at them. The point is, all over New York, I saw street construction workers, the guys, you see them all the time, they put up the little barricades and they have the jackhammers and they're drilling into the concrete to do some kind of repair work, and you see 3 or 4 people there, one person with the jackhammer, the others just standing around. You see this over and over in New York, 2, 3, or 4 people doing a job that could be done by one person. So thanks for bearing with me on this. I suspect it's not important to a lot of you, maybe all of you watching this, though I think some of you will find it amusing. But to me, I care about it a lot because it's one of the factors that drove me out of New York, the high taxes that pay for this situation that you see of hiring these extra workers and paying tons of money of overtime and giving all these days off. Well, obviously it makes no sense, but well, you can see me getting worked up here. And then I could do another video on the new subway, the 2nd Avenue subway. They built an extension to the line. It costs about 3 or 4 times what it would cost anywhere else in the country. It's just tragic. It's too bad. It's one of the things that I think is leading to the deterioration of New York. That's it. Thanks for bearing with me. I hope you found this interesting. Had to get that off my chest. Thanks a lot for watching. As usual, I would love for you to subscribe to the videos. Oh, and thumbs up if you like the video. I'll see you again soon. Bye.